All right, so now that we've saved these Word files, right, using this word processing software, how do I manage them? How do I organize them? How do I even find them? Well, that's going to be through file management software. So typically we just call these file managers. So this type of software does one thing and does one thing only. It's organizing your files. So you can store them, you can name them, you can put them in folders. This Manila folder, right? That's how we used to do things, right? Nowadays, almost everything's on a computer, right? You go into a law office, a school, everything's digitized. But before we had these little folders, right? We had filing cabinets where you would actually slip the files. Of course, you still see this in some places. But this icon here, which is the icon of Microsoft File Explorer, is a throwback to the old way of managing files, actual paper files, right? Same with the save icon. Remember, the save icon is a floppy disk on pretty much every single software. So yeah, if you want to organize your files, you got to use file management software. If you're on Windows, it's called File Explorer. If you're on Mac, it's called Finder. If you're on a mobile device, it's usually called something with files in the name. Kind of the same thing. Mac OS, they wanted to be different, so they went with Finder. Something we will cover in the demo is zip files. Sometimes you have a ton of files, like a lot of files that you want to share, or maybe a really big file. One way to share those files is to zip it. So we're going to talk about how to zip files, so how to reduce their size to make it easier to share, especially if you're sending an email. Sometimes attaching 100 files is not the best way to do it. Sometimes you got to use a zip file, especially if you're downloading stuff from the internet. These browsers, this internet software that we use to navigate the internet, actually does not allow you to download 100 files at once. So what's the alternative? They actually give you a zip file. So we're going to learn how to work with these. If you take my programming class, then of course zip files are really really useful because that's how I actually have a lot of my students submit their files. All right, so next up is going to be a demo on, whoops, that's not Google Docs, that's File Explorer.